Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks versus Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
From the home of the 12s, they raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Tua now on first down. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Tua. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it. Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit. On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test his secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Block off of play action. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On play action, Lock. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Lock's throw into the hands of Lockett. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. He'll buy some time right. And that will be incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up fourth. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tua. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I'm talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2nd down and 8. Play action. Now it's Locke. Sliding out of the pocket. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Locke. Steps away. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Locke now on first down. On the move to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who's one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They fake the handoff. Now Locke rolling to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A give. This is Montgomery. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you want to talk about active hands. These guys, these defensive backs, these linebackers, they've had active hands.
Almost reminds you of those great basketball teams, the ones that really defend. And we talk about the length that they have and able to get their hands on balls and have deflections and knock them away. That's what we're seeing here. Very difficult to get a pass into a receiver because there's always someone in the lanes.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. The kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call a sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Meanwhile, Tua's throws taken in by Waddle. Down deep into Seattle territory. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. James has got it, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Sanders' kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line. Dancing to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And just a field goal separating the two sides. 10-7 is the score. Devin Singletary, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Jacob Eason, over 300 yards through the air with a touchdown pass as well. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Zach Wilson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Out to his left. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They look to throw. It's Locke. Rolling to his right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap to Locke. Being chased out left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Locke. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Locke looks to throw it again. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. And we sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Here's Tua. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. He hits Adams, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Davante Adams, 40 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's what really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, but he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Locke. They'll roll him out right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, 43 yards. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He'll find Aguara complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz. Too fast to handle.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Slant to Adams. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And that's complete to Adams. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. He'll find his tight end here, DeGuara. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tua to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the 29, Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined. No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A lot going to throw it here. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Block now on 1st down. Left side complete to Lockett. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays. Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They'll actually throw it with Locke. Buying time to his left. And the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Seahawks, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on